Hey guys, it's me Nina and I'm back with another video. It's been so long. It's literally been a month, as you can see there. I took a break for a little while and I also batch filmed, so I feel like I haven't seen or actually spoken to you guys in a while, even though I did just do a vlog. So if you haven't watched that yet, I did a day in the life of a teacher. A lot of you guys seem to like those types of vlogs, videos, whatever. I am a New York City teacher, urban educator. I speak and I also blog and have this channel. So if you are interested in that day in the life of a teacher, then I highly recommend that you go check it out. I'll have do I need to link it? It should pop up next, or maybe I'll put a link down below for you guys if you are interested in that. But I love those videos. I love day in the life types of things. So I figured why not create one for you guys of being a teacher. I may also do weekend because I created an Instagram poll and those two are kind of head to head. So that seems like two things that you're interested in. But back on topic. Oh, by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's instagram.com/brownlightcurry. So go follow me over there. I also have a Facebook page so you can stay updated all things related to Brown Light Curry, me, and whatever else we are doing here on the interwebs. But today I really felt like I wanted to talk about a Christian perspective on all of the tea related to, I'm a teacher and I am trying to use slang right now, and my students are probably cringing as I do the tea motion. But I wanted to talk about a Christian perspective on all of the tea related to James Charles and Tati Westbrook. And I'm looking down my computer just to see some brief notes. So if I'm looking down there, that's what's happening. But I mentioned this, I do these vocab examples, walking through my students every week, and we're doing a new route. And I decided, I want to make it relevant. And on Monday, I had just heard about everything that was happening. So I added it in and didn't think that much of it. And the slide came to the word that I decided to relate to this incident, and the whole room could not contain themselves. They were so hyped, so they could not handle, because so many people had so many feelings about what happened. Everyone seemed to be informed somehow, I don't know, but basically if you're not informed, what you need to know is that James Charles and Tati Westbrook are two YouTubers. James Charles, I heard that he rose to fame really fast, within 2 years, and Tati Westbrook is one of the, the iconic beauty gurus. Ironically enough, I've watched YouTube since I was 14, 15, and I have never seen her before, and I have not followed James Charles either. But the reason why so much controversy was over this was the fact that James Charles, because Tati Westbrook apparently called him out, at first it was she had just said it in a vague sense, oh, someone did this, betrayed me, blah, blah, blah. But because she called him out, people connected the fact that she was calling him out, and I believe she made a video about it clarifying. But because he was called out, he lost 1 million subscribers overnight. And what she was upset about was she has this company, a vitamin company, and anyway, a lot of people were shouldn't even take those vitamins, they're horrible, blah, blah, blah. But she has this vitamin company and they're good friends, or they were good friends or whatever. He literally would call her mom, and basically he promoted another brand. But that doesn't seem that bad. Why would he lose 1 million subscribers over that? But a lot of people were upset. They were saying it's an issue of loyalty. But there were other allegations about him, and I saw messages just the way that he speaks to other men and just doing things that are really inappropriate. And personally, obviously it's not okay for anyone to do anything or make other people feel uncomfortable. He apologized about it. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. And I think it's crazy that he's now up to losing 3 million subscribers. And yeah, there are times in life where we have something happen to us that doesn't seem fair and it doesn't seem to match the situation, or maybe sometimes we do deserve it, we did something and that's a reason why we're going through something really unfair. But this really reminded me of the story of Job, and basically the story of Job in the Bible, very different than James Charles, because James Charles did deserve it, although I do not think that he deserves to lose as much of a following as he did. But the story of Job is about this righteous man who loses everything. He has, basically the devil sees this righteous man and tells God, the only reason why he's righteous is because he has all these things. And that makes sense, like the equivalent would be like, you have your house, you have your car, you have your spouse, you have your children. And actually I was trying to make like a comparison, but that's literally what Job had. The only difference was he also had like lamb and sheep, like, livestock, different things in the Bible times, I guess. But the devil said that if those things were taken from Job, that he would no longer be righteous. But Job proves him wrong. He does lament, he does feel pain over the loss of these different things in his life, but he never sins. He never sins. And that's an example for a lot of people, because James Charles has an insane amount of wealth and success and affluence. And something I'm working through, and he's also, a handsome guy or beautiful guy. I don't know, like he's very feminine looks. I don't know like the correct term, but like good looking guy. But something I was working with I'm doing an emotionally healthy spirituality group at church, and one of the chapters we're reading basically talks about the dangers of having these outside signals as means of our personal worth. And it's something that I struggle with within Indian culture. And I shared this instance with them, and like I hope this doesn't like paint my mom in a bad light, because she did not mean it in a negative way. It's just something that culturally is what we think, and I think it's worth mentioning. But she was just basically like very happy with like how her life worked out, and saying how like when I say like a lot, I'm trying to not, I've probably said so and like so many times, I apologize already, but when she was my current age that I am now, and I'm going to be turning 26, she already had literally a house. She'd given birth to my brother and me, and she was married. And meanwhile, I'm just like chilling over here, like single, living with my roommates, living my best life. I've been in teaching for some time now. But if you were to look at our lives on a piece of paper, if you look at our lives on a piece of paper, like who is more successful? But I was proud of myself, and I was able to kind of like tell her like, no, that's not correct or whatever. But at the moment I told her, no, look at Paul. He said that regardless of his circumstance, that he considered everything a loss to surpassing worth of following Christ. I'm definitely messing that up. But when you are a Christian, when you follow Christ, the beauty of that is that even if you don't have these external signals of what it means to be successful, you are able to still find joy and contentment. And that means for me personally that I don't need those other things to be happy. And I feel so weird saying this, but like I actually really thank God that I didn't get those things earlier. And it's a blessing to those people who do have those things so early on in life, and like be happy, enjoy that. But I think the danger is when we think that by having those things we will be happier. Because what ends up happening, and I even think of myself, like I wanted an apartment for so long, and the minute I got it, I was just thinking about like how much money I would save if I moved home, and all these things related to what I had before. So if your worth is in your subscriber count, if your life depends on doing well in your job and being loved by a husband or by children or whatever else, you will live your life never really having a solid foundation, never really being able to be truly happy. Because the truth about life is that it is really hard. And there are people who lose their spouses overnight. There are people who lose mobility overnight. Like they get into accidents and they are injured and they lose mobility. There are people who have acid thrown on their faces and lose, maybe they were known for their beauty. There are people who lose their children. There are people who lose things and people and signals of worth and things that they build their entire lives on. And the question is, even if you lose 1 million subscribers overnight, even if you lose whatever it is to you that may be a signal of your worth and significance, if you were to lose that thing, would you still be able to have an identity, to have a confidence in yourself that you are enough? And that's something that I constantly have to challenge myself with and really think about and really give to God, because My worth cannot be in my job because I can lose my job. My worth can't be my family because I can lose my family. My worth cannot be in my things because there are moths and fires and dust and physical things tarnish, and scripture points to that. So my worth and my value can only be in Christ because that's the only thing in this entire world that will actually last. I don't think in heaven anyone will be checking, how many subscribers you have, or if you made 6 figures, or if you were popular. One day, I believe, based off my faith system and my beliefs, that you'll go somewhere and the true measure of your worth was whether or not you follow God and how you use the resources and the things that He gave you. So my challenge for myself and for you is to learn from James Charles that the things in this world are temporary. And James Charles just lost those subscribers a little bit earlier. Most people at the end of their lives, they will one day have to answer for whatever else, and he just had that realization a little bit earlier, and I'm sure he'll bounce back. But yeah, that's me spilling the tea on James Charles and Tati Westbrook. Yeah, the whole world's talking about it, so I guess I'm talking about it as well, but let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I do think it is. I love that my mom was able to feel that gratefulness. And I think that if you do have those things, you should feel that gratefulness for the things that God has given you. But the problem is when you think that you may be worth any less without those things, because a value of a person is not determined by what they have or what they own or what they've achieved, but just because they are a human created by God. You have worth, I have worth. Okay. That's it. I will see you guys next week. Bye.